Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Oracle Reiki spiritual healer. So spiritual judgment, and this is our topic for today, spiritual judgment. When you're under spiritual judgment, that means that you will be able to see those people who have intentionally misled you, intentionally manipulated you from recent or of old. So what this is going to look like is, when you start spiritually cleansing yourself, and like I say, I come from a long line of medicine women and cleansing and healing for those purposes. And it is, readily available in order to, help people remove negative energy. When they start to incorporate these cleansing methods, when they start to incorporate these cleansing spiritual methods, rituals, and you see your relationship, fail. When you see people start calling you names, you're a warlock or you're a witch for cleansing. When you see, the elders in your family start to, become, frail and sick and wither away. When you see certain people in your community start to have difficulties in life, then that is a sure sign that these people are under spiritual judgment. They're under spiritual, they're in spiritual contempt in the spiritual realm, because they have been attacking you. And the more that you are around them, the more that you are cleansing yourself, the more that negative energy is removed from you, and it goes back to the persons who have sent out that frequency. These people are under spiritual judgment when they start losing their relationships, their children, when your children are no longer under their control anymore. When you start seeing your ex-husband trying to reattach negative energy to you, because that negative energy has gone back to him. It has affected his health. It has affected his relationships, because it was him that was siphoning your energy. When you break these relationships, when you break the understanding, when you break these relationships off and say, and you tell, your wife the truth, I can't do this with you anymore. I have to go and get some peace. I have to go and be able to have some kind of, life without you, because life with you is chaos. When you start telling people the truth and you break those relationships, you will see those narcissists and those demonic people, those spiritual narcissists who have been attacking you, they will come under spiritual judgment. Their body will become riddled with diseases. They will start having problems on their jobs. In many cases, they will have to retire. They will not have enough. They will be in lack. Sickness and disease will start to plague, their sons and daughters and their family, because of what they have sent out. They are under spiritual judgment. And, spiritual judgment and wrath and punishment are different, but they are the same. Because you're having an understanding that, these types of attacks are being weighed in the spiritual realm, that, these people have been sending out these attacks only to you, only to your children, only to your family. And what is being weighed is how they sent it out. They sent it out with malice in order to harm you, unalive you. They sent it out with malice in order to, keep you in a broken stage, a submissive stage, financially in debt, financial constraints. And when you have understood that they have gone through this type of, judgment, spiritual judgment in the spiritual realm, when you started to have that connection to God, and, you started praying every day, you started praying 3 times a day, you started praying 5 times a day, then you were able to see that negative energy that had been attached to you all of your life. It went back to those people who had sent it out, in many cases as a generational curse. That negative energy that they wanted to, not only go over in your life, but go over in your children's lives, so that their children could keep reaping the benefits of their energy. Those types of attacks upon chosen ones, upon the black sheep, upon the scapegoat in the family, those types of attacks are under judgment, spiritual judgment, in the spiritual realm, where your grandparents did not want you to move forward in life, where they had given your destiny and swap your destiny with your brother or your sister, so that you would be financially under their feet, that you would be in relationships that would fail, that your finances would fail, you would never grow, you would, fail to move forward in life, and your brothers and sisters would reap that benefit off of you, and you would never know what was happening. Everyone would grow except for you. So when you see that negative energy starts to go back, and especially when you have 2 of the black sheep or 2 of the scapegoats in the family that come together, you will see that negative energy go back in a hurry, because they are under spiritual judgment. They have been condemned in the spiritual realm for the tactics, the use of unauthorized attacks upon the chosen ones. They have, tried to give you misinformation and mistreat you and mistreat your children in many ways with these attacks upon your life. They have misunderstood you on purpose. So when you are having these types of attacks upon your life, and you are seeing these types of people receive the karmic debt that they have received in their lives by sending out these negative frequencies upon chosen ones throughout their entire lives, especially if they are elderly and ancient, you will see them go ahead and start to be, diseased, very bedridden, sickened, unable to move, unable to speak, because of the karmic debt that they have to incur. They have attacked the chosen ones in many ways and destiny swap, and they have been siphoning your energy for other people in your family throughout your life. And once you start to cleanse this negative energy, once you start to, have a closeness with God, once you start to have a relationship with God, and you start to fast, you start to prostrate, you start to use what God has given us in order to cleanse ourselves, then you will notice that these purification methods will send these types of narcissists into a frenzy. They will not be able to withstand the cleansing, because God is whipping them in the spiritual realm. They are being spiritually judged, and they are being driven to a harsh chastisement because of what they have sent out. So I hope that you received this message. Please like, share, and subscribe to me over all of my platforms. I had some rutabagas over the holiday season over yesterday. So I hope you guys are, receiving this message. You can book your one-on-one sessions with me. I'm feeling really good. Like, share, and subscribe to me. I'm High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.